Well, hello. It's been a long time since I've managed to say hello to you guys. So here we are in the middle of February, coming up. We just left, no we haven't just left, we've just lost Storm Ciara, or whatever she was, who luckily didn't cause too much damage on the allotment. But if you pan round and have a look out there at the nets, you'll see that she's trashed the nets on the purple sprouting, so that all needs putting back up again, but fingers crossed, luckily not too much damage. But it's that time of year where we get the itch to plant, and so today's job is a little bit of compost in the sieve, which is used to be a fire guard, believe it or not, this sieve. I've got another one that was made out of a disposable barbecue. That seems to have disappeared. So just getting ready with the planters for getting some seeds sown. I wanted to go plastic free this year if I could, but I've not had the time during the winter. We've had 3 months of torrential rain and it's just been awful. Not managed to get down here much at all. But you'll notice that most of the things I'm using are reused single-use plastic, so they are going to some sort of purpose. That's a pot that some brie came in at Christmas, so put them together, drill some holes in the bottom, compost in, ideal for shallow seeds and just to start some seeds off. So everything has its reuse if you can be a bit creative. This is I'm really proud of. I hope you can see these guys because they're really little. Back in the autumn when the asparagus had berries on, I picked a load of berries and just put them in this pot, compost on the top, and walked away. And we've got a little tiny forest of asparagus now. 3 years' time, with patience, there will be some lovely asparagus coming off there. So we've dug the last of the parsnips. They're sitting there just under the sack. Just leave the dirt on, because if you take the dirt off, they tend to go withery. Parsley's not done too good this year, but we've got some radishes coming up here. This is it could be a peach, it could be a nectarine, but it was a self-set in one of my jobs that just popped up in the greenhouse, so I've moved it and it seems to be surviving, so we're doing okay there. We were talking about plastic on the allotment. Believe it or not, this time last year I started collecting all the little bits and pieces of plastic that I was digging out, and you would not believe what's in here. Not that. You expect to find labels, you expect to find little bits of string. What you don't expect to find is paintbrushes and water pistols. I'm not sure where that came from. There's a fork in here somewhere, there's a spring off a plate that should hang on the wall. All this junk has over the years managed to get into the soil, so I've made a determined effort to get it all out. These little bits of plastic, this is a wrapper from some sort of sweets maybe. That's certainly not mine, I don't recognise it. But I don't eat sweets anyway. So having a determined effort to get all the plastic and junk out of the allotment this year. So that's just an example of it. Oh, mystery. There's some in here somewhere. When I was sieving out the compost last year, I managed to come across a great big pile of mussel shells. I don't eat mussels. How on earth did mussel shells get into my compost? One of life's mysteries. Okay, we're just going to have a quick whiz round this plot and then we're going to go over to the other one. The artichoke, bless her. Oops. This has been trashed by storms for the past 4 years. Made it this year. She's about 5 years old now, so looking really good. Purple sprouting's just about coming on. So I had my first pick the other day and that was absolutely delicious. I've finished all the digging now on this allotment, on this plot. Asparagus, left hand side of here is where all those new ones are going to go later on in the year. Asparagus, just covered it with manure and that's going to be absolutely fine. I've had a big clear out at this end of the allotment if you remember what the fig tree used to look like, it doesn't look like that anymore. So it's had a major haircut, but I've got 3 fig trees in pots here that were sprouting around the side. So hopefully, if one of these takes, that one will be coming out later on in the year and we'll replant it with those. I've got a few broad beans coming on there, which were the remains of the main crop from the other allotment. And we've got, it's not beetroot, it's rhubarb coming nicely on there. I don't force my rhubarb, I forced a plant that used to be here and it died, so I don't force anymore. This is my last piece of digging, so I'm really proud of this. Somebody saw the cross there. These are for broad beans, these crosses, just for the record. It's not some sort of religious symbol, and it's not a grave, okay? So, a few cauliflowers here. Not much on these ones, but we've got cauliflower over there, which I'm going to pick in a little while. I dug the raspberries out of here. My plot neighbour had a great big structure up here full of grapes and it was smothering everything over here. So I lifted all my raspberries. They're starting to shoot again. Some down here, so I will replant those. I've remanured it and hopefully they're going to make it. There's my water somewhere. This is, I've only had this plot for a couple of years, so it's just about coming around now. But look, this is exciting. It's a bit out of season. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? So we're going to have that one off, and that's going to be dinner for me and my camera person.
Yay!
Yay! So now I've picked it, I've got to carry it. Okay. Sam will carry it. There you go. Purple sprouting over here, not looking too bad, despite the nets all coming off again. But you can see just one day with the nets off, and that's all the pigeon damage. So we've got to get those nets back on today. The onion patch, white onions here, doing okay, they've survived. This is garlic from Morrison's, just regular garlic, and this is our elephant garlic, which is all put 20 in and 19 have made it, so particularly happy about that. This bit of the plot floods, so it's been a challenge this year for it. In the greenhouse we've got our giant red cabbage all ready to go out now. We've got some early lettuce there. We've got the marigolds coming up here, which is for the whitefly. Hopefully keep that away again this year. And these, if you grow elephant garlic, round the base sometimes grows these little things, which I've saved from last year and planted some. And they have actually, so I'm not quite sure how big they're going to get, but they should come up. Here's a big surprise. You can see those. This is an olive tree. We're in the middle of February in the UK, in England, in Somerset, and I've got baby olives on my olive tree. That can't be bad. There's also flowers on my lemon tree. Decidedly tropical. It's the Tropic of Somerset. Everything over here is not too bad. I've got about a quarter of the digging to do. Oh, these were random elephant garlic from last year, so I think it might have been one of those bits dropped off the bottom. So I've got 4 growing here. I've covered them up because they're not actually what I want them to do.
Stop you digging them back out again.
Yes. So you can see the water down there still in the bottom. I managed to get a bonfire last week for the first time since October, and this was the bonfire pit. This is going to become a wildlife pond, one description or another. All I need to do is to get it all dug out now, and that will be the wildlife pond. This plot needs raising by about another foot, so the more earth I can get out of there, the better. because it was so late digging, I've had to dig and just compost and manure on the top. I'll plant straight through that. Normally I dig the manure in the autumn, but just didn't get it done this year. And here we have the broad beans. Two different varieties of broad beans there. And I've just spotted this one just coming into flower. I don't know if you can see the flowers on there. So with any luck, we're going to have a nice early crop of broad beans. And I think, apart from the pots down there that are filled with manure just ready for the courgettes and all of the
Pumpkins.
Squash. And squash, that's the word. All the squash, all going in the manure over there. So that's about it really. We're up to date, I think. A little bit of digging to do over here, and then we can start thinking about sowing some seeds. Don't really want to scratch the itch to sow seeds too soon because it's only February and we had massive frosts in April last year, so I don't want to lose stuff, so I'm just having to be patient this year. But have a fantastic week, enjoy the sunshine until Storm Dennis arrives on Saturday. Take care.